guys, and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. My name is Stephanie. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. I've got some delicious dishes for you guys, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright guys, so first up is a one-pot Asian spaghetti with meatballs, which is basically just like some Asian style meatballs with some lo mein, and I made it into a one-pot meal, and I'll show you guys how I did it. So the first thing I did was go ahead and mix up my meatballs. I had some ground pork for this, which was kind of why I was like inspired to do Asian style meatballs. But you can use like chicken or turkey or beef, basically anything you want. It's a meatball, and you know, whatever you guys are into, I'm into. You do whatever you guys like, but I've gone ahead and added everything into my meatballs, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix them up. So once I feel like I have gotten everything all mixed in and distributed evenly, I'm going to go ahead and use an ice cream scooper. I have a bit of a like smaller one to scoop out meatball sized little scoops, and I'm going to go ahead and cook those in the bottom of this pan here. I didn't feel the need to use oil because I knew I was going to first of all deglaze the bottom of the pan and they would release themselves, the meatballs, fine, because of all the fat in the ground pork, so that's fine. If you're using a leaner meat, definitely go ahead and put some sort of fat down there so that it doesn't stick. But these turned fine for me, no problem. I did put a little bit, after I got this nice and brown, I put a little bit of liquid in the bottom of the pot to kind of like help evenly cook the meatballs. You could also always just bake your meatballs in the oven, but this was a one pot, meal, so we're not doing that. So I'm just going to continue to cook these, and I will remove them once they're cooked and add in my veggies. Now, if you've been a subscriber of mine for a while, you just go ahead and earmuff it or mute this because I know you're sick of hearing me say it, but for my new friends, deglazing the bottom of the pan is so important. There is so much flavor to be had no matter what you are making, I promise. Go ahead and put just a little bit of broth, even water, it doesn't matter, in the bottom of your pan and scrape up all the little bits that's left by whatever meat you're cooking. And I promise you, it kicks up the flavor so much. So once my veggies got some color on them, I added in some hoisin sauce, my soy sauce, and my mushroom broth. And I brought that to a simmer and added in my spaghetti noodle. I would encourage you to use ramen noodles or angel hair or even like the lo mein noodle. I felt like spaghetti was a little too thick for this, but either way, just go ahead and keep cooking and stirring, ensuring that the noodles don't stick together. And then at the end of this, I'm gonna add in some spinach and put the top on to wilt it, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Alright guys, so this is all plated up here. This was so delicious. Like I said, I would have liked a bit of a thinner noodle, but it was still really, really good. And all that flavor from the soy and the mushroom broth and the veggies and the meatballs is all up in there, you guys. It was so, so, so good. I garnished with a little bit of sesame seeds and some freshly cut green onions. These meatballs were amazing, and the lo mein was really good. Definitely a must try for a spaghetti and meatball fan or an Asian food fan. It was just super delicious and a really fun twist on a classic. So speaking of twists on a classic, I'm actually making some Instant Pot Philly cheesesteak enchiladas. This turned out really, really delicious. I'll show you guys how I made it. So I just dumped all my meat and veggies and seasonings into the Instant Pot, along with a cup of beef broth and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. I mixed all of that up and I put it on high pressure or manual pressure for 10 minutes. So I went ahead and released the pressure and took all the meat and peppers and onions out of the pot, and I'm adding in a little bit of cream and some cream cheese that was not on my recipe board. I'm just going to go ahead, and I have this on saute, so I'm having heat come up and smelting the cream cheese, and I'm just stirring it to make a sauce. I also added in 3 slices of provolone cheese. Unfortunately, there was no any kind of shredded cheese, unfortunately, that I got from my Walmart pickup this week due to the coronavirus. So I was kind of doing with what I had. I would definitely have done like a Monterey Jack or maybe even like a pepper jack cheese for this. However, provolone cheese worked out fine. I just had to slice it so that it could fit in the little burrito shells, but you know, no big deal. You just gotta make do with what you have at times like this, so this worked out, like I said, fine. The only time that this kind of threw me for a loop was covering the enchiladas with deli, like sliced provolone cheese was a little intense for me. I think I did over cheese it, you guys. There is such a thing as too much cheese when it's like the kind of strong provolone flavor, so I'll just warn you against that. Definitely get a milder cheese. This was still like super delicious and I did love it, but just a lot of provolone. A lot. I don't think I'll have provolone for quite a while after this, but it was very good. I would just suggest maybe using a milder cheese if you have, like, you know, kids or like kind of a picky eater. Definitely just, you know, do it that way. Also, somebody ate a tortilla while I wasn't looking, and so I had to use 2 mini ones, but again, do with what you have. I went ahead and poured the rest of my sauce over my enchiladas and covered them with the exorbitant amount of provolone cheese, and I put them in the oven at 325 or at 350, excuse me, for 25 minutes. So as I said, this is where it all went wrong. It is difficult to get the same coverage you get with shredded cheese with deli sliced cheese. For me, anyway, in this moment in my life, it was a struggle. But that is how I did the cheesing on top of this. I'm sure cheesing isn't a verb, but either way, this is how it looked before it went in the oven. Alright, and this is what she looks like out of the oven. I just chopped up some parsley and some green onions and sprinkled them on top for a little bit of color. Like I said, the provolone cheese was a tad strong, but everything else in this was fabulous. I mean, even though it was a little bit strong, this was such a like cohesive and like delicious dish with like the sweet peppers and onions and the beef, and like it was just that cheese sauce was fabulous. Like it was so good. That was all really good. Just next time I would use a milder cheese, and I suggest it of you as well, unless you like really strong cheese. Alright guys, so the last thing I'm going to be making for you is another twist on the classic. Instead of a regular burger, I'm going to be doing a spinach and feta Greek burger with some delicious tzatziki sauce and some amazing oven fries. They're the best, and I'm going to show you guys how to make them. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is get the tzatziki sauce going so that it can sit and chill in the fridge for a little bit. That way all the flavors can start to melt together. Usually, people will shred the carrots, the cucumber, but I actually like to do a fine dice instead, but it's totally up to you, whatever you feel is better, like whatever mouthfeel you're into. I like the diced cucumbers. So I'm using half of a large seedless cucumber, and I sprinkle that with salt, and then I let it sit for a little bit, and then I drain the excess water. Then I'm adding in some plain non-fat, like regular plain yogurt. You can definitely use Greek yogurt if you want it to be thicker. I just don't like that like chalky taste that you get from Greek yogurt. So then I added in my garlic, I'm gonna add in my lemon juice and some dried dill. If you can get fresh dill, more power to you, but I couldn't, so I just put some dried dill in there. Then I gave that a big stir, mixed everything in, and I'm putting it in the fridge until everything else is ready. Alright, so really simple with my burger. I just have my beef. I'm grating in about 2 tablespoons of grated onion in there, just a small onion. And then I got my feta cheese, my spinach, 1 egg, a mixture of spices, which I will have listed for you guys, and my garlic. And I'm going to go ahead and mix all of that in, and then just kind of section it off into 4 little patty size meat sections. So these oven fries, everyone's made them. They're super delicious. I love oven fries, and I usually chop up. I like the gold potatoes. What is wrong with me today? So I like the Yukon gold potatoes for this. I feel like they're like always crispy on the outside and soft and like fluffy on the inside, which I love. So I've gotten these all chopped up, and I'm seasoning them up, and then I'm gonna mix that with some olive oil, and then just get them out on a sheet pan, and I'm gonna put them in the oven at 425 for 25 minutes. Alright, so this is everything all plated up. I've got my fries here that I just out of the oven, and I've sprinkled some feta and some dried parsley on them. They are so delicious, as well as the burgers, and I've just gone ahead and spooned some of that tzatziki sauce over them. Remember, if you want it thicker, definitely go ahead and use Greek yogurt. I just don't like that taste, so definitely up to you guys. This was so like herby and delicious and like flavorful. I absolutely love this meal. Alright friends, that's going to do it for me this week. I hope you guys all got some fun dinner inspiration from this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and definitely subscribe for more. I hope everybody has a blessed, safe, and awesome week. Shout out to our COVID warriors and essential workers. You guys are doing amazing, and I'm praying for y'all. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!